Hi friends! I was working on a project of 16 beanies for my friend and her Girl Scout troop, and I decided that I would, this is the very last one I have, that I would show you how I actually get it on my hoop and stitch it out on my single needle Babylock Flourish 2 embroidery machine. I did have this digitized specifically for this, and let's get started. You're not going to see my face in this because it is currently 4:32 p.m. I am a hot mess express mom. I just finished with the Johnny Depp trial verdict, and I'm just a hot mess. So you're going to be seeing my hands and the little beanie. So this is what we're going for. On some of them, she had all white stitching. On the one we're making today is going to be a fuchsia heart, and then the hand, and then whatever this is. And so let's get started. I have my 5x7 hoop. I used this to mark the center line. I did the dots, and then I made lines going horizontally on here, and I'm using one layer of tearaway. You can see there's a hole because I actually already used this piece. So the next one I do, I will be putting here on these lines, and it will actually work out perfectly. So here is the beanie, and you will see right now it is right side out, but where I need to be stitching on is actually right here on the inside, because when you fold it out, this is where the writing will be. So what I did on the first few is I printed out my design, and I had my hat inside out, or sorry, my beanie inside out, and I had this placed exactly where I wanted it to go. So it's going to go this way, and then I held it there, and then when I flipped it, this was the long process. It took me about 3 of them to realize I was just doing it the long way. So that way when you flipped it, it was right side. But then I got smart and realized I didn't have to put this whole thing on there. I could easily just get a piece of tape, mark the center. And what I used to mark the center was just a ruler. So sorry, I'm jumping all over the place. So in order to do that, all I did was lay it flat and on the seams that it came with. And they are about 7, it was about 7.5, but this one was actually 7 3/4. So I went almost to 4 inches for the center. And then I did approximately 1.5 inches up from the bottom for my center point. Where it is along the horizontal doesn't necessarily matter. I wanted to make sure that I got it the exact same from the bottom, because when you flip it over, you can turn the hat on your head. That doesn't necessarily matter. So I'm going to put it back this way so that my little mark is here. I'm going to spray my stabilizer with my 505 spray. I need to get another can. And then what I'm going to do is, so it's going to go in my machine on this way. And on this line here that I made, I'm going to line the bottom of the beanie up with that line. I'm not really concerned about, and I'm not pulling, I'm not doing anything. I'm just kind of lining it up. I don't really care where this is, because I can move my hoop, or I can move the design. So I'm just going to go in, and then I'm just going to make sure that it's all pressed down. I'm not pulling. I don't want to pull anything because then when you stitch it, it'll come out wonky. So what I've been doing is I know where the design's going and how big it is. So I know that I can pin on this side. And I pin a lot, and I haven't had any issues with snagging. If you're careful taking everything off, I'll pin it there. And then I'll put a couple pins on the inside. And I'll put a couple more pins when I put my water soluble as well. And then I'll pin this. And so I have 4 pins in it right now. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go onto my machine and center the design on here. Because earlier I stitched way up here, and so my design is centered for placement up here. Now I have to go move it. So here you can see my marking, and you can see that it's not lined up here. So I'm going to go over here and move my needle. I'm going to go down and move it over, and then I'm going to put this down to make sure that I can see it. Lift up my foot, and then I'm going to go ahead and press embroider. And there we have it. It will be ready to stitch, but right now I have to go and put the water soluble stabilizer on it. So I have my water soluble in a little bag. Make sure that it stays fresh. And I'm actually going to fold it in half because I just find that it works better when I have it double layered. And why beanies when it's starting to be summer? I don't know. I think they're going on a Girl Scouts something or other. I'll go ahead and pin it in the corner. And this is the first time I've ever done beanies. And she asked me if I could, and I said, I don't know, let me try. And so I tried, and then I was like, yeah, I can do it. Pretty sure. Pretty sure. Go ahead and okay, then I peel off gently. The little adhesive, make sure it's laying flat again. And then I make sure this is nice and taut. I'll grab a little, just a little bit of tape. And I make sure it's pulled down. And then I just, this is just what I'm doing. I tape that side and then I'll pull this side. I use that tape as like a finger. It's assisting me. And then I'll just put the water soluble to the stabilizer, to the tearaway. And then there you have it. And then once I get it onto the machine, I will actually pin these back with my Wonder Clips, and I will show you how I do that. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back on. I have 3 Wonder Clips. Okay, man down. I have 3 Wonder Clips. And I'm going to go ahead and pull these back. So I clip one side, I pull up and attach it to the stabilizer. Same thing with the other side. And then same thing for the back. And it's going to stitch out the Girl Scouts and then that leaf thing that goes on the side. So now I don't want to pull at all the pieces of water soluble between all the letters, because I don't want to pull the thingy. So I use a bottle of water. This is water from our actual, my drinking water. Down here I keep pieces from my fabric, like my organic fabric and stuff. And then I just wipe off the rest of that water soluble. Then I can kind of see all the stitches too, make sure. And I don't want to rub too hard too much, but just all the little bits. You don't want to soak it. And there you go. So when I put it right side out, when you have it right side out, you go ahead and flip it. Give it a little zhuzh. So you can easily make these beanies. You can embroider a beanie, no problem, using a single needle flatbed machine. You just got to play with it a little bit and learn your machine, and you're good to go. If you have any questions, please go ahead and leave them down below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Otherwise, I hope you have such a fabulous day,